Gingee Fort, also known as Senji Kottai, is the largest fort in Tamil Nadu, covering an area of 2,700 acres and featuring 3 hillocks in the Pakkamalai range in the Villupuram district. It has recently been named a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, recognizing its historical and cultural significance. Gingee Fort has a long history dating back over 1,000 years, with its origins tracing back to the Chola dynasty in the 9th century. Gingee Fort is one of the 11 forts that were built, adapted or expanded by the Marathas between the late 17th and early 19th centuries, demonstrating their architectural and military prowess during this time period. The British referred to Gingee Fort as the Troy of the East due to its strategic location and impregnable nature. The Gingee Fort complex sits atop 3 hillocks, Krishnagiri to the north, Rajagiri to the west, and Chandrayandurg to the southeast. The 3 hills together form a fort complex, with each hill featuring a distinct citadel, making them self-contained and fortified units within the greater defense system of Gingee Fort. The fort was built as a strategic stronghold to fend off invading armies. The Gingee Fort was originally built by the Chola dynasty in the 9th century AD. It later passed to the Kurumba chiefs and then to the Vijayanagar Empire in the 13th century. The Gingee Fort and modified throughout its history by various rulers, adding different architectural styles and defensive features. In addition to the original Chola and Vijayanagara Empire structures, the Nayaks, Marathas and Mughals all added their own enhancements to the fort, making it a unique blend of architectural styles. Shivaji, the legendary Maratha warrior, renovated and strengthened Gingee Fort in 1677 AD, turning into the structure we see today. Following his efforts, the fort came under the control of the Carnatic Nawabs, but they later lost it to the French in 1750. The British took control of the fort in 1761, although it was temporarily lost to Hyder Ali for a short period. Gingee Fort, for its religious significance and features multiple shrines dedicated to various deities. The Ranganatha Temple and the Venugopalaswamy Temple are 2 prominent shrines recognized within the fort. The Ranganatha Temple is dedicated to Lord Ranganatha, a form of the Hindu god Vishnu, while the Venugopalaswamy Temple is dedicated to Lord Krishna, also known as Venugopal. Gingee Fort has a rich history of strategic battles and warfare. One such battle that took place here was the Battle of Jinji in 1742 between the French and the British East India Company. The French were ultimately victorious in this battle, demonstrating the fort's significance as a key strategic location. Gingee Fort encompasses numerous military structures and fortifications including sturdy walls, towers, and a protective moat. The fort was constructed atop a breathtaking 800-foot tall hill, fortified by an 80-foot wide moat, showcasing its impressive defensive capabilities. The Gingee Fort was declared a national monument in 1991, signifying its historical and cultural significance. The archaeological department was responsible for managing and preserving the site thereafter. Originally built as a powerful fortress to protect the region from invasions, has transformed into a calm destination perfect for exploration and contemplation. The fort is also said to have several secret passages that were used for moving secretly within the fort. These passages would have been useful during times of war when the fort was under attack. Even though the fort is in ruins, it remains a magnificent example of centuries-old architectural brilliance. Its grand walls, secret passages, and scenic vantage points have also made it a favorite filming location for several Tamil movies. The fort had several bastions that protruded from the fort's walls at strategic points. These bastions were used for placing cannons and other artillery and offered a good line of sight over the surrounding area, thus allowing the defenders to easily spot any incoming threats. The fort is surrounded by a massive wall that was built to protect the fort from invaders. The walls are made of granite and are still standing despite the passage of time. The fort was also equipped with a ditch and a moat, which acted as a barrier between the attackers and the fort. This helped in protecting the fort from enemy attacks. The Kalyana Mahal, situated within Rajagiri Fort, is an impressive 7-story structure featuring a pyramidal top and an Indo-Islamic architectural design. Believed to be a former royal residence for queens, it houses rooms for women, a small square pond, arched verandas, windows, and 2 staircases per floor. Terracotta pipes line the walls for water supply, while its architectural uniqueness and historical significance make it notable. Some sources suggest it functioned as a wedding hall. The servants' quarters at Gingee Fort are located in the west and north of Kalyana Mahal, featuring granite construction with beautiful arched windows. These rooms were used for royals, their attendants and horses. A special horse stable is built behind the quarters for the royal steeds. Gingee Fort's elephant tank, also named Aanaikulam, is a huge stone reservoir that measures 58 meters in length, 40 meters in width and 15 meters deep. It is situated to the south of the Kalyana Mandapam Palace, and it is believed to have been used for bathing elephants due to its colossal size. Steps in the southwestern area make it easy for elephants to get in and out. It is thought that the tank may also have served as a swimming pool for the royal family, their kin, and prominent officials. The fort was also home to several water reservoirs that were used for storing water for daily use. They were built in such a way that they were not easily visible to outsiders. The granaries are located on the left side of the main entrance of Rajagiri Fort, constructed with strong granite walls around 2 meters in width. The arched roof is skillfully designed to support storage. It originally held large quantities of food, around 150,000 kalam, a traditional unit, with one part designated for rice and another for grain storage. These granaries were crucial for preserving food supplies and formed an integral part of the fort's well-planned defense and logistical system. This helped the fort survive long sieges. The Gymnasium in Gingee Fort was a massive granite building used back in the day to train soldiers on their combat skills. It was built to the west of the elephant tank. It had a special roof that was shaped like a wagon, and it was 26 meters long, 9 meters wide, with walls 1.2 meters thick. This big structure was used to give sepoys their training and keep them ready for fighting. Elephant stables. This structure was used for stabling the war elephants that were used during battles. It is made of granite and is a massive structure that can hold several elephants. The fort is also home to several courtyards that are located between the various structures within the fort. These courtyards would have been used for various activities such as socializing, recreation, and even as a place for the local populace to seek refuge during times of war. The Venkataramana Temple is located near the gateway of Pondicherry in the southern part of Gingee Fort. It faces east and has a tall Gopura tower above its entrance. Built between 1540 AD by Muthiyalu Nayaka, it is still an active place of worship today. The temple houses deities of Lord Venkataramana, a form of Vishnu. It features 2 prakaras, enclosed courtyards, along with special halls like the Kalyana Mandapa Marriage Hall, Urchava Mandapa, Hall for Processional Idols, and Yagasala Mandapa Ritual Hall. These halls are supported by beautifully carved pillars, adding to the temple's spiritual and architectural charm. Gingee Fort's drawbridge is a really important part of its military design. It used to be a wooden bridge that connected the fort's front door to the inner part of the area. The bridge could be lifted up if there was an attack. This made it hard for enemies to get inside. There was a big space between the gateway and the citadel. Enemies couldn't come near without breaking the defense first. This bridge was very important for protecting the fort and keeping it safe. Krishnagiri Fort was primarily used for surveillance and as a refuge during emergencies, allowing soldiers to monitor enemy movements from its high vantage point. The fort was also equipped with several watchtowers that were used for monitoring the surrounding area and spotting any incoming threats. These watchtowers would have been manned by soldiers who would have also been responsible for sounding the alarm in case of an attack, from which they could closely monitor any potential enemy activities or incoming threats, providing a defensive advantage for soldiers by keeping a watchful eye on nearby areas and anticipating any signs of enemy movement. Gingee Fort, started as a super strong fortress to keep the region safe from attacks, is now a quiet place for finding out more about the past. Its buildings and walls used to protect it from invaders now invite people to come and relax. It is the perfect spot for those who want to go on a historical adventure and also have a moment to think.